Ms. Wilcox, we're ready for public comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our first speaker is Jamie Moore, to be followed by Araya Edrish. And if I mispronounce the name, please feel free to correct me.
Jamie Moore. We still do not have answers on the bus fleet. Not opinions or buzzwords, data. You've told this community the average fleet age. When those numbers don't align with the Department of Public Safety VIN-based data, that raises real concerns. But when asked the simple question, how did you come up with those numbers? There are no answers. We asked for the data set and methodology. Nothing. These are not political concerns. They are safety, accuracy, and trust concerns. When questions are raised, families are labeled as spreading misinformation. But what is it when information is presented as factual and you won't explain how it was calculated? Why won't those who presented the information, the superintendent and chief technology and operations officer, answer? Why won't the senior executive director of transportation answer? You can say safety in a podcast as many times as you want, but it still doesn't answer the questions. We are not going to stand for buzzwords instead of answers. And when families try to obtain basic data and simple answers through open records, the response is hundreds of dollars, dozens of labor hours, and weeks of delay. For information that should already exist and be tracked. For information touted in this very room. We are not asking unreasonable questions. The answers are the responsibility of a district asking for public trust and paid for by the public. Families are paying attention and more are stepping forward. This board has a responsibility to serve the families who elected you, not to stay silent when answers are needed.
Our next speaker is Araya Edrish, to be followed by Michael Garza.
Hello, my name is Araya Edrish and I attend a Cobb County school. I'm a student who grew up hearing the district motto and thinking that my county would support the fruition of one team, one goal, student success, delivered by students who stand up for their peers and their own rights. But for years, we've been cast aside by the school board who wants to uphold the reputation and our efforts denounced as distractions to the learning environment. During my sophomore year, there was a school shooting at Appalachia High School. Students in Cobb County wanted to stand with the victims, show unity by calling for the end of gun violence in schools. We planned a walkout, and when the day came, the school board sent out a notice against it. We were told that we would face suspension if we went through with the protest. They only gave us passive solutions. Call a representative, have a moment of silence, and journal your thoughts. This year, students wanted to organize in solidarity against the violence of ICE in our state and our schools. And the board threatened us that all of the extracurriculars we were in could and would be put to a stop. We would face suspension, lose our parking passes, consequences that impact the universities we apply to. I raised a question to the board. How can you claim you understand our sentiment, yet give us a harsh punishment instead of a framework for a solution? When students feel unsafe, that is when they speak up and speak out. When students feel unsafe and afraid, my question is, what is the school board doing to make sure we do not get any ICE raids in our schools? ICE agents have a vast amount of power to do what they want to do.
30 seconds.
All we ask as a student body is that we are represented earnestly by our school board. I hope you realize that to bring power to your goal and to have student success, your students must be prioritized. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Michael Garza, to be followed by Matthew Mayette.
Last month, a mother came before this board to speak about her son Desmond, a student in a mild intellectual disability classroom in Cobb. She had concerns because our district is eliminating this class because of the number of students in it. She spoke holding back tears, her voice cracking at times because of the uncertainty in what will happen to her son if he is forced to go into a classroom that does not meet his needs. The audience said they could feel that uncertainty, some with tears in their eyes, empathetic of her situation. In what has become a pattern at board meetings, that mother left without a single response from board members or the superintendent. Like many parents of children with special needs before her, she went home believing her words to be ignored. A response from this board will be, "But Michael, we can't respond." But there's no state law against responding to a parent. That rule is a choice voted on by the same board back in 2021, a choice that allows you to disengage from the families that you are supposed to represent. The superintendent could have chosen to address her concerns in his remarks, to give a statement of empathy that our district will do everything in its power to ensure her child continues to thrive in our schools. Instead, he gave a political speech bashing students. Maybe this board chooses not to respond because that would require them to defend spending millions of dollars on surveillance of our students, or on law firms to keep their seats. Money that could be used to keep funding classrooms like Desmond's, or to address bus driver shortages that force students with special needs onto crowded buses.
30 seconds.
What we should have is leadership that makes choices for our students after engaging with the families most impacted by those choices. That's not so much to ask, is it? Thank you.
Our next speaker is Matthew Mayett, to be followed by Patricia Constanich. I'm gonna mess that up, I'm so sorry. I'll work on it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew Mayett, and I am a junior at North Cobb High School, and today I'm representing the nonprofit Rhizome as a fellow to talk about elevating student voices. We surveyed students across the county and found that 75% believe that the school board did not represent student interests. In other words, students do not feel heard by the Cobb County School Board. Moreover, students emphasize the need to improve bathrooms and the right to safely and peacefully protest. We want to bring these issues to your attention because the school board should serve the students. And a big part of that is putting student voices at the forefront of change within the county, because they are the ones directly affected. Furthermore, many students were upset that they were penalized or threatened with punishment for peacefully protesting ICE activity across the country, but specifically in Cobb County. This directly affected students' feelings and their sense of safety at school. Part of school is teaching students how to interact with the world, and what is more important to the real world than learning how to make their voices heard. Instead of supporting civic engagement, most schools imposed harsh consequences on participating students, which diminished the protest impact and set up barriers to making their voices heard. Students should feel safe and supported when they are demonstrating important aspects of democracy, such as the right to protest government action peacefully. Thank you so much for your time and everything you do for the school system, but please act to make sure students feel safer speaking out and utilizing their right to peacefully protest. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Patricia Constanescu. Please feel free to correct me. And our final speaker is Becky May Park.
You're pretty close. I married into that one. I had to learn it myself. I'm still not sure I pronounced it correctly. I'm glad Mr. Garza was speaking just a moment ago. He was so eloquent, and I would like to echo some of his comments. The parent who spoke last month before the board about the special education class in her local elementary school shutting down. It really affected me when I saw her speech, because I also have a special education student, and I understand how critical that bond is between me, my student, and those teachers. She was so pleased with the special education provided at her local school at Argyle Elementary, and she choked back tears when she explained that she had just learned that Argyle would no longer offer this special ed program for her child who has several conditions, including spina bifida, and was doing fantastically in that class. I've been in the same distressing situation as that parent who spoke, and I felt compelled to speak here tonight just to tell everyone that I get that. To the board, I want to say you have to do better for your special ed
30
students.
seconds.
And to that mother, I want her to know, if she happens to watch this or is here tonight, that I feel you, and I'm with you, and I understand, and I will do all I can to help the board change this situation. Thank you.
Years ago, I was surprised when Cobb County School District took off the two-way radios off the school buses. And then I was shocked when I learned that the administrators working and supervising the school bus ports no longer had a direct line of communication to the school bus drivers. When seconds count, why would you cut this line of communication? To put it into perspective, I'm going to give you a few scenarios that I think might happen. Administrator needs to call dispatch. Watch the seconds. Oh, hi, yeah, dispatch, this is, that'll be it. Okay, yeah, I'll hold. Yes, hi, I had a parent call in, said that her student, her 5-year-old daughter, Susie Q, did not get off the bus. Could you please ask all the school bus drivers if they might have her on the bus? Should have been bus 10, but she might have gone on a bus by accident. Yes, I'll hold. Now the administrator holds while dispatch does whatever they do to get in touch with the school bus drivers to find out if the student's on the bus, and then get back in touch with dispatch, and dispatch gets back in touch with the administrator on the phone. If the administrator had a PTT that the school bus drivers have, that transportation has, I don't know if you have the opportunity to use a PTT or it's on your phone. If the administrator had a PTT, it might look something like this.
30 seconds.
I'm gonna start again. Gray bus. Gray, I'm so sorry, you threw me off just a little bit. Let's try it again. Gray elementary school bus drivers. We're missing a student. Her name is Susie Q. She should have been on bus 10. She's 5 years old. Please come back if she's on your school bus. Much better communication. Please consider giving the administrators at the schools a direct line of communication to the school bus drivers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our first speaker is Monica Delancey, to be followed by our second and final speaker, Mr. Jeff Hubbard.
Good afternoon, and I want to say happy School Board Appreciation Week for all school board members. I want to start out with saying that God is good. He is so good. He does not make any mistake, and I'm just so thankful that I'm still standing with all that I've been through this past year. But he don't make no mistake, because he needed Monica Delancey to be 110% when we thrive on Riverside Renters Association. You do know that Cobb County hosts eviction courts on Friday at 9 o'clock and at 1:30 in the afternoon. They've gotten so crowded that now they have two times in the morning, 2 courtrooms open in the mornings and 2 times in the afternoon. And there's over 150 people that make it to the docket. And 95% of these people that's on this docket from Cobb County are African Americans. This housing crisis is getting out of hand. This is why we are hosting the Renters' Rights Summit on this Sunday, March 22nd. Everybody's invited to come, homeowners, businesses, renters, but we're hosting it so we can make sure that's about resolutions. We're going to have an awesome presentation from our Pastor Urban Richards. We have our realtor, Sandy Johnson, who will be doing a route to home ownership. We have our school board representative who will be doing a presentation, Creating Thriving Communities.
30 seconds.
Thank you so much. We also have Brianna Perkins, who will be presenting How I Survived Six Flags Drive. And also we'll have an awesome panel of Thrive ambassadors. And I say this to say, with my daughter, Brianna Perkins, she has gone from Riverside Elementary School all the way to getting her master's in public administration while residing in Six Flags Drive. So that's why she has to give that report, give that Thrive plan, so we can encourage others. Again, thank you so very much.
Time.
Monica Delancey.
Our next and final speaker is Jeff Hubbard.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Again, happy school board week to all of you. On behalf of CCAE, we want to remind not only ourselves, but those of us around us, that we are in the customer service industry. We serve the students, our teachers serve the students, and we serve the public. Sometimes that gets forgotten. 99% of our employees do what they're supposed to do, get great evaluations, and things move on. 99% of our administrators are the same way. But unfortunately, sometimes we do have that 1% that we do need to address. When issues of importance or concern are brought up not only to school administrators, but people here at the central office, we ask as a county, as a community, as an organization, that professionalism is always given to our stakeholders. When that is not done, that makes the system look bad, it makes their school look bad. Because of the fact we have over 100,000 students, we have over 18,000 employees, not everybody can be perfect, we accept that. However, when there are problems in schools and people do bring them up to the higher level, we do ask that they get the same respect that we would want as a parent, as an employee, as a board member. So I'm very grateful that our leadership department and our human resources department, thank you, are very open to hearing concerns. In fact, we have shared some concerns with them today, and I know, knowing the type of professionals they are, that they will look into those concerns. Our students, our parents, our stakeholders deserve the absolute best from us. And when it cannot be done, then we need to look at ways either to improve it or to change it. We thank you.
Mr. Chair, that was our final speaker.
Thank you, Ms. Wilcox.